Hey, it's Valen Frostweaver from Mischief of Mice. I am here with the final tour of my Steam Spider. I've finished this and just wanted to give a quick, tour, as I said, around the creation itself. So as you can see, I've added lots of gizmos on top, all sorts of interesting things like this giant Tesla slash plasma cannon going on, plus a few small mini turrets here and there. Um, so let's start at the front and work our way to the back. Now, to start off with, I've got these little mini turrets around. They actually do work. There we go. Now, they're not really destructive, it's just particles, but I thought it made it that much more fun for the fact that they do function. And that's every single one of them. Just to give an example, there we go. It's got little gauges and stuff on the side. I thought that was just pretty cool. I've got a couple more small turrets on the back legs here, and those ones function as well, as you can see. Plus, there's opening doors. But before we go in there, let's check out this giant cannon on the back here. So I added some like little stairway up here. Plus, it's got the mechanical workings in the back, and you can see it's animated inside the gun like it's charging up. I wanted to add some kind of manual sight looking part on there just in case, but I just thought it looked pretty neat. Now, this actually functions as well. So when I pull the lever, you can see it actually does a giant blast out the front cannon there. So that's pretty cool. I was very pleased with how that turned out. And then I've got this Tesla looking coil on the back end here. It's about as Tesla coil as I could get it to look, but I'm still pretty happy with how it turned out. So now to get to the inside parts. The main entrances are on the side at the joints. And you'll notice I got little fire alarms on the side. They've got little switches that do function, but they don't actually work for these fire alarms, thank goodness. And this is the main helm area where everything is controlled, really. It's like just a little workstation desk here. Then there's another one on the side, book and quill, some tea, because, you know, what captain's room would be complete without a cup of Earl Grey at the side. Anyway, moving on. There is the view screen here. I put a bunch of these what are they called? Distortion flames in place, and they worked really well so you could see through the front as a vid screen of sorts. And of course, if you notice here, there's no there's lightning bolts up there, but there's no shooting going on. So if I pull this lever, this one works as well, and each one corresponds with the top left and top right turrets that are on top of the spider. And those work independently from the other levers, so you can actually have both of them running at the same time and it won't really make a difference. Now, of course, this goes up and out through these, ooh, very loud, through these outside doors. And let's see if I can close that. There we go. And you actually have these little areas here you can go up into the other eyes of the spider and look out as well, which I thought was just a lot of fun. Alright, moving on and into the back. Now there's actually 3 levels in the back instead of just the like the lower and front upper. Back here we'll start at the top here. We've got kind of a storage area at the top, just lots of like a little workspace, some lockers, barrels, and chests and whatnot. Nothing really fancy here, but it did look relatively appropriate. Then we have, going down to the middle floor, if you will, the main power room, engine chamber. I'm not really sure what you'd call it, but it just looked appropriate, being powered by, well, obviously Thaumcraft, but it was kind of a steampunky feel with everything that's going on. At least that's how I feel it turned out, which is what I was going for. So, turned out really well. I used some of these, oops, levitation thingies here. Let's see, the arcane levitators from Thaumcraft as well. I thought those added an extra nice green sparkle effect to these gemstones from Botania. And then you notice this actually comes down from the core and goes up into the gun on the top, so I thought that was quite appropriate. Now, the bottom area here, nothing really too fancy. It just looks like it's a lot of inner workings. I did add a little character touch of a prisoner that was chained up here in the bottom. And then, of course, a couple of other small hidden things in the back here. We've got a little broom closet of sorts, and we've got a little valuables area. And that pretty much sums up everything about the Steam Spider here. Oops. I mean, you've seen the upper floor, middle floor, lower floor, the captain's room. Seen the turrets, giant plasma gun, plasma Tesla gun. Not really sure what I would call it, but besides just really cool in my opinion. Now I do have some terrain effects going on in the bottom here as well. If you notice, I kind of burnt up the ground around a bit, replaced with some ash, some fire, just so that it looked like it was in the midst of walking and destroying things as it goes. So that's about it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I thought this was a really wonderful build. I'll post later on to let you know how I did in the competition on Mr. Flamegoat's building contest. And if you guys like it, please feel free to give me a like, comment, subscribe. See ya.